So we're talking about a big deal, right? He already had these warrants to buy 43.5 million Goldman Sachs shares at a strike price or exercise price of $115 each. Not bad considering Goldman shares are $150 a piece approximately right now. Well, that would have led to him putting out about $5 billion of cash to buy this stake. It would have given him about a 10% stake in the company. Interestingly enough, this new revised deal makes it so that he doesn't have to outlay any cash whatsoever. You can see there the new stake is now contingent upon the average trading price of those Goldman shares in the 10 days prior to expiration in October. You multiply that by 43.5 million shares. That's the amount of money he will then take in the stake. But more importantly, he doesn't have to put up any cash this time around.
Okay, so is that the difference? In other words, that's not just why he's not exercising the old agreement.
Well, it's interesting because the cash is a big component. He doesn't have to put up that cash up front right now. This is a cashless transaction, no cost to him. He still just gets the stake. In other words, if you look at the numbers, we crunched them. If you were to exercise it just today at the current prices that we have Goldman Sachs at, it would not be a 43.5 million share transaction. He would then just get about a little over 10 million shares. What's good for Goldman here is Goldman doesn't have to dilute their existing shareholders quite as much. So that's the reason why you got benefits to both sides of the equation, Deirdre.
Okay, and then this adds, of course, to Buffett's other big bank holdings as well.
Right. We already know that he's a huge holder of Wells Fargo, about $16 billion worth of that stock. Also a big holder of U.S. Bancorp. That's one of the regional banks he really likes. And remember, speaking of warrants and those preferred share stakes that he put in Goldman Sachs, he still has that same thing with Bank of America, speaking of Brian Moynihan as well. So Goldman, obviously the next part of his portfolio, but certainly one that he likes. Obviously, he would be buying into it if he did.